everybody out there, all my MDK gang members out there, go check out Cold TV. I checked it out myself. That shit's dope as hell.
Good morning, my neighbor! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too! Good morning, my neighbor! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too! Good morning, my neighbor!
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to our very special GCW Homecoming Prediction Show. And this is so exciting because this is the first time we've ever done a prediction show for GCW here on Cold TV. And as you can see, yes, let's go. We have an amazing group of people with us. Of course, I got my brother from my other mother, one Michael J. Duplessis. How you doing, bro?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. And of course, we can't talk GCW. We cannot talk GCW without our resident expert in game-changing wrestling, the queen of extreme herself, one cake face Karlee. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Oh, I'm awesome. I'm excited. I'm pumped for the biggest
hyped.
weekend. Oh my God, dude. I am so excited for GCW's homecoming. It's just cool how this event has evolved over the years and been like, you know, their marquee show. Because I mean, GCW, we talk about it all the time. They are red hot. They're on fire. They are putting out some of the best professional wrestling. They are the best independent wrestling company. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, as far as I'm concerned. And we're so excited to talk about homecoming. First and foremost, I got to ask you both. When you think of homecoming, what's like some of the first thoughts that come to mind?
It's just one of those like historic nights. And correct me if I'm wrong, isn't this the first year that they're doing 2 nights?
I think so.
Thought they may have done 2 nights last year, but I forget all the hate.
They did do 2 nights last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's
They
still
did.
something like relatively kind of new, I believe. So, and like we could be wrong. I don't know. You could always Wikipedia that shit, folks. But nonetheless, so yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's their biggest weekend of the year. I think this one's different though this year, though. I feel like this one, it's like the one thing, it like the critics, if you will, who just need to touch some fucking grass at times, have ridiculed GCW about, I think, is lack of storytelling. There's a lot of stories going on in GCW and a lot going into this big homecoming weekend as well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh, the world title situation alone, what's been going on there. And I still, even though this isn't going on, it's ended, I still stand by this. The feud of the year has been Effie and Mance Warner. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, yeah. And their match at Cage's Survival.
Oh, my God. Amazing.
Oh, my
Amazing.
God.
Nonetheless, well, let's just get right into it. And as we said, GCW Homecoming this weekend, it is 2 nights of action. Of course, if you're in the Atlantic City area, I don't know why the hell you would not be going to Homecoming, man, because this is just dope. Because not only do you get the both homecoming shows, but also there's JCW is running Up All Night, which will start right after Homecoming night 1, which I know that's going to be a pretty dope show as well. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about Homecoming. Let's talk about night 1. And of course, we cannot talk about night 1 without mentioning the host of night 1, Matt Cardona, the general manager of GCW.
Our deathmatch general manager.
Deathmatch. Yes, I apologize, Mr. Cardona. I did say that wrong. Even though I told you where to go to the front desk there in Indianapolis to get your Outback Steakhouse, which I'm sure probably was like shitty. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do when you DoorDash stuff. Anyways, I digress. So what do you think we can expect on night 1 from our general manager? Because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of tomfoolery, a lot of shenanigans that was going to set up for night 2.
Well, it's a lot of bullshit and chicanery.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, with Matt Cardona, I mean, he's always going to have something up his sleeve. But I feel like, too, on the behind the scenes of it, he does bring a lot of star power and everything to the table. So we're going to get a lot of surprises as well as, the matches that are already on card. If I'm not mistaken, for night one, there's 9 question mark from what I saw.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to tell us what some of them are because there's some I don't even think I know about, honestly.
I'm only going off what they said on Instagram.
Okay.
I mean,
I think it's 9
from
or
what
10.
it seems like on X, it seems like it's more up to date. So I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I think it's 9 or 10.
Okay. Nice.
Ooh.
So we've got some of them here we're going to mention, but we will go into detail on those other ones too as well. Putting you on the spot, Karlee, because I don't think I know what they are, but I'm excited to hear. That's amazing. One thing I like that you're saying with like Cardona, like with what he brings to the table stuff, because like he's doing great work as this just chicken
Oh,
shit
for sure.
general manager. But I think at the end of the day, if we really break it down, like GCW is Matt Cardona's home promotion. Like Matt Cardona, like he's said it before, and I think a lot of people agree. The biggest moment of his career happened at Homecoming,
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, where he went against Nick Gage in that death match.
Mm-hmm.
I think because of that too, that's really kind of cemented Homecoming as being such an important show for GCW. So, but kudos to Matt Cardona, whether you love him or hate him. But I'm sure we're going to be seeing our general manager all over the show. And plus he's competing on night 2, and we'll talk about that. Let's talk about some of the matches for night 1. Oh, this is going to be fun.
This is
I'm
gonna be
excited
great
about this
one.
one. So we have Sydney Akeem going up against Tony Deppen. Anytime you get Tony Deppen, I fucking love Tony Deppen.
Tony's so fucking good.
Very
he's so
talented.
good. The asshole heel, like some hats are gonna be thrown into the fucking crowd off of a kid's head or something.
Right.
But the stuff I'm lucky enough to say I've had the privilege of seeing like Sydney compete live. Matter of fact, I was there in Cleveland when he took on Gringo Loco, and that was
that had to be amazing live.
Yeah, so
I wish the WWE capitalized on that man way more, because
right.
I didn't know he had this shit in his bag.
No, I had no
Yeah.
idea from the way he was presented in WWE. He seemed like just a goofy oddball character, like whatever. But holy shit, man! Like, yeah, he can go. He's an incredible athlete.
If I'm not mistaken, one of his first matches in GCW was against Jack Cartwheel, if I'm not mistaken. That was either his first or second one, and it was like
his first.
Yeah. And I was just like, whoa, like, where was this? All he was just the guy who did a bunch of flips for the 24/7 title in WWE,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. It's just crazy to see like how good he is, and I can tell you this: WWE's loss is definitely GCW's game, man, because he is
1,000,000%.
killing it. Absolutely. But I mean, this should just be a good old fashioned fun matchup. Like any like I say, anytime you see Tony Deppen, it's always fun. I look for Sydney Akeem to kind of keep that winning streak alive, though.
Oh,
that he's
yeah,
got in GCW.
definitely.
So I look for him to go over here on Tony Deppen. But I'm not gonna be surprised if Tony Deppen does some chicken shit things to pull out the win. But I'm going with Sydney Akeem.
I'm gonna go with Sydney too. I think that he's got some momentum in this independent run since leaving the big guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
GCW.
Mm-hmm. I'm absolutely going to agree with you guys. I mean, he has quite an undefeated streak, and honestly, I don't see it ending anytime soon.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, but you never know. Like I say, Tony Deppen. If when a guy was to do it, it would be Tony Deppen. Oh. Ooh, now this one we go complete polar opposites, but damn, this you talk about meat. Oh baby, this matchup is going to be
awesome.
So good. We got Silla Fatu going up against Matthew Justice, and I got to tell you, like, Silla Fatu is easily the rookie of the year this year in pro wrestling. There's nobody that comes even close to him. The fact, like, Mike, how many matches does he got under his belt at this point? 30 or something?
Yeah, 30 to 40.
Something like that. And he's already won multiple championships in different promotions.
Shout out the House of Glory. Shout out the Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, everybody keeps talking. Okay, Silla's going to be the next one to go to WWE and be a part of the Bloodline story, and it's just like, I mean, he's damn good. Like, but I think, and Silla,
He,
I think will tell you this too. He wants to work. He
he's
wants
put it
to
on
work his
record
way
that
there.
he's not going to go to the big guys until in 2.5 years.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
He's like, I'm loving this learning and being on the independents and
Oh
you
yeah.
know listening to the greats.
And
Yeah.
I can tell you personally, like from talking to the young man a couple times, he is like one of the sweetest guys you will meet. Seriously, like he just after the shows, he will take a picture with whoever. Doesn't charge fans at all. It's just like people
It's
come up. It's
it's a
crazy.
Samoan thing. They're just super nice and humble, even though they're all huge. Somebody who's
Yeah,
grew up with a lot of them, they're just the nicest people in the world.
Oh,
yeah. He's an amazing human being, an amazing athlete. And Silla to me too. It's like it amazes me because every time I see him, he just keeps getting better and better and better, man.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that, I loved his matchup at in Cleveland there against what was it, Josh Bishop, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That match was awesome, and the stuff, even the stuff he did against Hoodfoot when in Indianapolis.
I even love the match that he did with John Wayne Murdoch in Houston. Like it was that Houston street fight.
Mhm. Oh,
But,
that was
man,
great.
that was sick.
Can
Yeah,
we talk about how the Fatu families they can do the sports entertainment thing, and then you have someone like Zilla and Journey. Journey's another one in the family who doesn't get spoken about enough, but they do this hardcore deathmatch shit, and they're killing it because Journey
yeah.
be out in California, just being all bloody as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can do fucking everything. And it's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
yeah, they can. They literally can do everything. But hey, we got to give love to Matthew Justice as well, who just
Oh,
recently
yeah.
came back to GCW, man. And God, he looked fucking great. That match against Mance Warner, holy
Oh, that
shit,
was
was so good.
amazing.
So excited to see him back in a GCW ring. This is going to be great. This honestly may be Silla's toughest test to date against Matthew Justice.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew
I mean,
Justice.
I
is
can
one-
agree with that.
Yeah. Because Mathis is going to want to kick his ass because this kid's got so much hype behind him.
Oh yeah. But I think at the end of the day, I think Silla is going to pull out the win, man. He's just going to keep that momentum going. It's going to be a
Spike.
tough one. Yeah, it's going to hit that. Boom. I love his spike too, like the variation he does on it. Oh, it's so good.
So beautiful.
But this is going to be a classic matchup, and hell, it may steal the show on night one. But there's some
Yeah.
amazing more matches we got to go as well. Let's talk about this one. We got some tag team action going on as we got Los Machizos going up against the husband and wife duo of Brandon Kirk and Casey Catal. Of course, mainstays there in the Jersey area. Every time they work like Jersey, you always see those two, both competitors in the Tournament of Survival in the past. All four of these, actually.
Yeah.
But I think we got to talk about the elephant in the room, Karlee, and that is there's kind of been a little bit of a dissension between Los Machizos.
Yeah. During that match at No Signal in the Hills, you could definitely see too. It was just there was a little bit of tension between the two.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like this match in general is going to be a really good one. I think I can see maybe some weapons being used since both of them are both teams are very familiar with getting all bloody and everything. And I don't know. I would have to call it down the middle. I don't even know. I would probably, if Los Macizos doesn't, have any conflict during the match, I could probably see them winning just to have that momentum going for them.
Yeah, because they got a big night too, which we're going to talk about here as well. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But I totally agree with you. This match has fuckery spelled all over it because there is going to be a ton of fuckery in this matchup.
Hell
Blood will be spilled. It's going to be fucking nuts. I'm like you. I can see this going either way. I don't know. I feel like Los Machizos is going to pull it out and have a little bit of momentum going into Sunday night.
Yeah.
That'd be my pick. I'm not going to be surprised either way.
Right.
What about you, Mike? Who you think's taking this one?
Yeah, I think Los Machizos is gonna get this one. I think that match with the hiccups was just a little bump in the road. They'll be fine, and they have to get ready for night 2.
Yeah. Karlee, who you got?
I think I'm gonna go with you guys, Los Machizos.
Yeah.
I think that'll be, especially for the momentum for night 2 for sure.
But you can guarantee this is going to be a violent affair. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, now this one. Yes, let's fucking go. We got Masha Slamovich going up against Galino Del Mal, which is this their debut in GC, or have they wrestled in GCW before? Or am I getting it mixed up with some? I may be getting it mixed up with another luchador. I don't think, because there's like two. I always like my wrestling brain, because it's like, there's so much wrestling going on. I always get him mixed up with like the other big dude that wrestled like, but in like a bodysuit in GCW.
Right. Now, I've seen him a couple times before, and if I remember correctly, I know he's won quite a few. He might have lost maybe once, but he's definitely,
wrestled in GCW a few times.
Yeah.
I feel like he may have been at one of the shows I was at. I get him mixed up.
He wrestled Mike Bailey
Oh, okay.
in Long Live GCW.
Okay. Because there was a dude there, like, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting names. He's a luchador, but this guy was massive, but he wore like a full bodysuit. And he wrestled at the beginning of the year.
That's not Galeno.
Okay. Well,
I'm very familiar with Galeno's work.
Okay.
He works up here.
Oh, okay. Well, tell us a little bit more about him.
He's a third generation luchador from Mexico City. He does a great mix of high flying with a lot of technical work.
Oh, okay.
He works a lot for Defy.
Oh, okay. I think that's where I've heard the name. Okay.
Yeah. He's done a lot of shows for Defy Wrestling. So,
well, he's going to have a hell of a test against the JCW champion, Masha Slamovich. This should be fun. Like, I'm looking forward to it just because I love any Masha matchup. But this type of matchup, and Mike, you can kind of tell this, like, you kind of mentioned this. So he's got kind of a blend of that classic lucha libre style with some technical skills as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that should be a good one then. Because
he's definitely one of those big and agile guys. It's really awesome.
He's the son of luchador legend Dr. Wagner Jr.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's okay. Now I know where I've heard of him. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Nice. This is gonna be fun. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I can't pick against Masha. I love Masha too damn much. I could see it going either way though. Flip a coin, but
right.
But I'm going with Masha on this one. What about you, Karlee?
Well, I feel like Galeno is definitely gonna give her a hell of a match. It's gonna be probably one of her toughest opponents, in my opinion. But I don't think anything's gonna be stopping the Russian Dynamite. I think Masha's gonna end up taking it home, winning. Yeah.
What about you, Mike? Who you got?
I love Galeno. I love his work, but yeah, Masha scares the fuck out of me. And
I love Masha.
I'm not gonna say she loses anything because I don't want to run into her.
Never have you ever been so scared and turned on in your entire life.
Facts.
And that's not a bad thing. So, but yeah, this is gonna be a hell of a matchup, I'm sure. So, oh, what the fuck are we? Oh, let's talk about it. I'm giddy. I'm giddy as a fucking schoolgirl over this one. We got Ultra Mantis Black against Danhausen. Like,
you don't know how happy I was when Ultra Mantis got announced for this show.
And could he be against anybody else, right? I mean,
no, actually, with the way that company he is originally from ran, no, this makes complete fucking sense.
This is gonna be This is gonna be fucking bonkers. Is what this is gonna be like.
Definitely an
Shout out
epic
to
match.
Shout out to Mike Quackenbush and Reckless Youth.
Oh yeah. Oh, because yeah, they started that that
Chikara.
promotion. Chikara. Yeah. This is going to be a very, very Chikara feeling type of matchup. Like shit. Karlee, do you think this may give the damn match we just saw in Japan a run for its money with Andrisa the giant panda? That
Honestly, that's got to be one of the matches of the year for me. I mean,
yeah.
Danhausen being able to curse everyone into doing the Thriller dance, like, and I know the complete side note, but like along with like that match and other ones, it was nice to see Jimmy Lloyd be Jimmy Lloyd and not woo 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 all the time. But anyway, back to
Right.
this. Yeah, I don't know if anything's gonna be able to top the match with him and Dree's Giant Panda.
This is
But it's gonna
fast.
be epic regardless.
But this is going to be, we've seen over the years some of these just insanely fun matches is the best way I can put it. And this is definitely going to be up there.
So good.
I
Shout
don't know
out to
who
the colony.
I don't know who to pick in this one though.
I think I have a theory of who might win though.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, God.
Only because, okay, if we think of the history of like Danhausen trying to curse people, like, you know, Microman, even like Kikotaro, he's not able to curse people with a mask.
Oh, okay.
So I think we might see Ultramantis Black win this one.
Win for the colony. Sorry. I am a Chikara wrestling like fiend. I love Chikara Pro Wrestling, so this makes me so happy.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Karlee. I think you're right. I just got this feeling in my gut. Like I think Ultramanus Black is gonna get the W. I think you guys are onto something here.
Do you know what AEW superstar got to start in the colony under a mask?
No.
Orange Cassidy.
Oh really?
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Well, that's interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice. So, but I think this is one of my probably maybe my most anticipated match of Saturday outside of the main event. I think it's this matchup. In all honesty, I'm so hyped for this. This is gonna be great. Like, definitely get your popcorn ready, folks, because this is gonna be a fun ass match. Now let's talk about this one. This is a big one because we got Nick Gage going up against Drew Parker. And Mike, I know you know quite a bit about one Drew Parker, I do believe. I thought, maybe not.
No.
Oh, okay. Because I thought, well, he's a deathmatch wrestler. Am I right? And when I was researching this, I thought he's a deathmatch wrestler.
Oh, not one I've heard of.
Oh, okay. Well, Karlee, isn't this the same Drew Parker that Nick Gage went up against and sustained that injury? Or maybe
at the show in Denver?
I thought so.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he faced Orin Veidt.
Oh, okay. Well,
After
I
that
apologize,
long
folks.
hiatus that Orin had, and he ended
Okay.
up having a fucking death match against Nick Gage and stuff.
Okay. Well,
But I
I
think
apologize.
I feel like we've seen Drew Parker a couple times in GCW
Yes,
just
okay.
against like
I
Billy
do know
Swerves
who
and
this man
stuff.
is.
Okay.
No, that was under Drake. Never mind.
Yes, I have seen this man because I saw this guy get his ass beat by
But
Alex.
he used to do. Didn't he used to do deathmatch wrestling at some point? I thought.
Yes.
Okay.
His
Yeah, because wasn't
UFH
he was in
2.0.
he was okay. Thank you. I knew I wasn't crazy. I thought at some
UFH
point.
2.0. I've seen him get his ass beat by Alex
Oh,
Okay.
multiple times.
Okay,
That's
but
something
I
gotta
guess
get
I was
more
getting it
into.
mixed up with the gentleman with the guy in Denver. Okay, so I wonder, have these guys ever met before then? Has Nick Gage ever met Drew Parker? I wonder.
I don't think
Oh.
so. There's nothing on YouTube.
Well,
He's
see, this is
also- The
here's
only
the
other
thing.
GCW match I see him with is him versus John Wayne Murdoch in 2021.
Okay.
Oh, and that was at a homecoming, wasn't it?
It was.
It was at a homecoming. Okay, there you
Yeah.
go. So Drew Parker has competed at homecoming before, but this is the great thing about GCW. You know, we're doing this show, we're doing this preview show to get y'all hyped and stuff. And there's talent on this show that we're not even really familiar about. And I think that's one of the great things about Game Changer Wrestling
Yes.
is it introduces you to so many different talents of so many different regions. Like shit, Karlee, until Sunday night, we had no idea who the fuck Tombstone Jesus was. And now it's like, I want to see that guy all the time.
Yes, that was such an amazing match. Like, so incredibly long. Like, they literally, it was just, they put each other through a fucking nightmare. It was just like, wow, who is this dude? But yeah.
So I wonder if this match will in fact end up being a death match. I would assume it's probably going to be. It's not advertised.
I mean, what match of Nick Gage's isn't a death match?
True, with him against Matt Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah, but
that
was different.
Joke.
That was different circumstances. So, I think this will be turned into a death match, and I think this is going to be I think you're going to see something interesting out of Drew Parker. I think, like, because for us who aren't as familiar with his work, I think it's going to be very interesting to see because you're going up against the top guy. You're going up against MDK all fucking day, Nick Gage.
Hell yeah.
And it's homecoming. This is Nick Gage's homecoming. This is Nick Gage's GCW.
Yeah.
You've got all these other great athletes there, but at the end of the day, the face of GCW, the heart of GCW, if you will, it is Nick Gage.
1,000,000%.
I mean, I don't see him losing at homecoming. I think what it's going to be is a classic scenario of Nick Gage going over, but I think Drew Parker's gonna get over because I think this is going to be a great matchup on the show. But I'm picking Nick Gage to win.
Yeah, I don't go against Nick Gage. Again, one of those situations. I run into Nick Gage, and I'm gonna get hit with a fork.
Yeah, or pizza cutter,
Right.
Yeah.
or something. If Maki's there, she's gonna like sing you beautiful, beautiful music, and then he's gonna stab the fuck out of you with a fork.
Maki can do that all she wants.
Agreed.
Maki can do whatever she wants to me.
She is the cutest motherfucker out there. So, but yeah, I think this is going to be a really fun matchup on Saturday night too. Because remember, Nick Gage has got a big Sunday night too, which we're going to talk about. But
yeah, I agree.
Let's talk about this one. One of the big marquee matchups at night one. Brussies going up against Raj Desi and the Bollywood Boys reunited on the Indies here. And of course, we know this war that's been going on with Raj Desi and Effie. Of course, Effie, we know the year he's been through, that wars with Mance Warner. And now it's kind of like he's been in this kind of awkward phase, like this. And then, you get the modern day Maharaja coming in to ruin things. And I don't know. I think this one, I'm intrigued by this one. Especially seeing the Bollywood Boys reunited with Raj Desi, which, Mike, you can probably answer this. Like, when the hell's the last time these guys teamed up? It was in the WWE, wasn't it? Was this during, like, Jinder's, like, title run?
Jinder's World title run, where around the time they did that horrible Punjabi match where they brought in Great Karlee for one night.
Tried to forget about that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? If you're doubt GCW, let me just say this. Back at the Collective, they actually put on a great Punjabi prison match.
Yes.
That tells you anything about GCW. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Karlee, what do you think we can expect out of this big matchup at Homecoming?
I mean, we're definitely going to see a lot of heat. I mean, we've got Effie as like the main person of the group who, is one of, the, hearts of, GCW, one of those GCW like home guys that, everybody loves. And then we've got Raj Desi, who literally shocked everyone by coming to GCW. I mean, we knew like beforehand of Raj Desi going to Black Label Pro July 26th with his match against Kevin Koo. Well, and it ended up being Dominic Girini, but no one knew that he was going to surprise everyone and come to GCW. And the fact that, he ended up pairing up with the Bollywood Boys. And if I'm not mistaken, I think before this, the Bollywood Boys, didn't they like have a match with the Garbage Daddies at one point recently?
Yeah, they've competed in GCW. Matter of fact, they competed in that Punjabi prison match I mentioned earlier. So, yeah. So Bollywood Boys have worked GCW before.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Again,
And
another team that works up here a lot.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, and with Effie having, Dark Sheik and Effie on his side, I think they're going to put up a good fight, but honestly, I feel like, especially with some of the stuff that Effie has against him, he's not really on Matt Cardona's good side and all that stuff too. I feel like we're going to get a win from the Maharaja and the Bollywood boys.
I hate to say it, but I think you're right. And I want to say this too. I think the rest they've been, I mean, Dark Sheik's been on a roll. I mean, she had a hell of her first tour in Japan. She comes back to LA and actually does a tag match with her fiance.
Yep.
I mean, she's been killing it. And it's always love Allie. We love Allie here.
Oh yeah.
Cool TV. Or one of the sweetest people you will ever meet. I think you're right, though. I do think there is going to be some shenanigans, some fuckery. I look for Cardona's influence to be heavy in this matchup, and thus I think the Maharaja and Bollywood boys walk out with the win. Thinking the same, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vancouver. I love the Bollywood boys.
Well, before we talk about our big main event, Karlee, it sounds like there's some other matches on the card that we've potentially missed for night one.
Let's see. Hold on real quick. I think the only one that wasn't mentioned was supposedly there's going to be a match against John Wayne Murdoch going against Big F and Joe.
Oh, nice.
That shit's gonna be bloody as fuck.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a death match for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. That's gonna be
Yeah.
Okay, for anybody not familiar with Big F and Joe, okay, the first time I saw this guy was when they went over to their England and did the shows with Progress, and this guy is fucking badass.
Yeah.
He pretty much wrestles in his underwear in a white shirt essentially, and does the crazy shit you'll see in a death match. And regardless of whether or not you think John Wayne Murdoch is a pussy or not, John Wayne Murdoch is a bad motherfucker. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
So,
first time I saw Big F and Joe was ZZW's Tournament of Death. Their first tournament of death after the COVID lockdowns got lifted. Yeah, that dude is a scary son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
And he is a big dude. He is. I call him Big F and Joe for a reason.
Yeah.
When they had him versus what is her name? IWA Mid-South legend. I can't think of her name.
She's a deathmatch wrestler?
Yeah. Mickey Knuckles.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of my favorite people ever. I love Mickey. Oh my God.
I love Mickey too. They had those two in the finals, and I was like, oh, he's trying to kill her. And he's doing it in whitey tighties. And I don't know how I feel about this. A guy wrestling in whitey tighties is a very strange thing.
Yeah.
But he's a scary son of a bitch.
He is a scary son of a bitch. So that is going to be a hell of a matchup. You can guarantee that is going to be a bloodbath for sure. Fluorescent light tubes everywhere. Doors smashed. It's going to be fucking wonderful. Gosh. I mean, you got to John Wayne Murdoch did come off of winning the Tournament of Survival this year, so it's kind of hard to pick against them. I do love Big F and Joe though. My heart wants Big F and Joe, but I think it's going to be John Wayne Murdoch. Probably pull out the win here. What about you, Karlee? Who you got?
Honestly, I think just from what I've heard of Big F and Joe just of this year having, a lot of success and good things happen just like in the deathmatch independent scene and everything, we might see him get a win over John Wayne Murdoch. But I mean, I would like to see, John Wayne Murdoch pull off a win, just not in a tag team by himself. So that would be dope to see. But
that way people stop thinking he's a pussy.
Right. But I think wholeheartedly, I think we might see Big effing Joe win.
I'm going to be shocked either way, but
Right.
But Mike, what about you? Who you think?
I'm gonna go with John Wayne Murdoch because he be associating with GM man, and I don't trust that son of a bitch at all.
Yeah, that's a good point. So
Yeah.
But
I
that's
think
going to be a hell of a
Cardona's gonna
matchup. God, man, if you haven't already been sold on night one of Homecoming, man, like seriously,
Dude.
dude, like what are we doing? You need to be watching GCW, but the big one. Let's talk about what arguably is probably the biggest match of the weekend by far. The main event of night
Yes.
one, the ladder match for the GCW World Championship. We got Joey Janela, Mance Warner, and Blake Christian. Lot of story here that's been going on for months. If you go all the way back to Tournament of Survival weekend, and then of course, at the time, Blake Christian was working over in the for New Japan Super Juniors tournament. Matt
Mhm.
Cardona stripped Blake Christian of the GCW title, so thus he never got pinned, technically. So he has every right to still say, "Hey, I am the GCW champion." And thus that insane gauntlet match that they had, where
Incredible.
oh my gosh, the back and forth on that. Like seriously, go get you a subscription for Triller. If you want to get ready for this, watch it was Tournament Survival, and what was the show right after that we're talking about? I can't think of the name of it for the life of me. It was there in Atlantic City too as well. So but seriously, go back and watch you some of the GCW, the stuff that's led up to this weekend.
I lost my voice literally watching Cage of Survival at the end. Like
Cage of Survival, that's what it was. Yeah, Cage of Survival. Yeah. But yeah, that gauntlet match, that's crazy how it ended. And it seemed like there were so many different. At one point, it seemed like Charles Mason was going to be the champion. Then Nick Gage comes out, and it's like, oh shit, Nick Gage is the champion. And then
Jimmy Lloyd for a small
Jimmy
bit.
Lloyd's going to be the champion. And then, of course, Joey comes out, finally gets that GCW championship. And then we get the tease from our good buddy here at Cold TV, one Cole Bradrick. Shout out to you. Love you, buddy. Know you're healing up from that injury, and you'll be back better than ever soon, my friend. And of course, teasing with the cashing of the brass ring, and then of course, old Manser cashing in his shot and became the GCW champion. And then of course, Joey Janela getting that moment denied from him, because I mean, it felt like going into Cage of Survival, like Joey Janela was finally going to get his moment against Blake Christian. I mean, that's who I would have easily picked in that matchup, because it was like, okay, he's got all the momentum. It makes sense. I mean, Joey, we talked earlier about Nick Gage. Like Joey, you could easily say is the heart of GCW.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But then you get that matchup there in LA with Joey and Mance Warner, and then who shows up? Blake Christian. The crowd goes nuts.
Christian.
Oh, old cousin Blake. And thus, now here we are. We've got this triple threat for the GCW World Championship. I love the story that they've been telling, like just everything intertwining, especially with like involving, people like the Iron Demon, involving like Megan Bain into this, like which, God, she's looked like a fucking superstar during all this. That match she had with
only
Mance
had
Warner.
2 singles losses so far in GCW, which one was against Mance and now Blake.
Blake, yeah. So and there was a lot of bullshit with that.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is you've got, Blake. Blake was an incredible champion, whether you love him or hate him. He
So
had a
goddamn
help.
good. He had
he
so
had a-
much heat. He's such a good heel.
He's great. But
one of my favorite like pro wrestlers, like literally in my top 10. Like I couldn't say enough good things, even with him being a heel, about Christian Blake. Love Blake Christian.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. But that being said, and I think Karlee, you would agree with this. This has been the summer of Mance Warner. Mance Warner has defended this title incessantly. Shit. What was it? Like he defended at all of these shows this past weekend. Three times in Japan, defended it in LA, defended it in Utah. I mean, he's the fighting champion. You cannot deny that.
Yeah, I mean, just the past week, it was 6 times because in LA he fought twice. Once against Rob Shit, which he literally treated like it was just shit, unfortunately, and then TNA superstar Frankie Kazarian comes out and gives him a hell of a run for his money, but needless to say, Mance Warner is just such on a streak.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing. Here is the funny thing about it. I think people could complain, they're like, "Oh, well, he's always got his brother-in-law or whatever you want to call him, Matt Cardona, always helping out stuff with of course, Broski Jimmy going in there." But I have a crazy parallel here that to compare it to. Okay, and like I don't think anybody would see me making this comparison, but I'm going to make it. It's almost like kind of the same thing Roman was doing with the bloodline. They was always bailing his ass out. This is like a time-honored tradition with the chicken shit heel in wrestling, folks. This happens all the time. It's happened for years.
Yeah,
I will say though, for
the
yeah, I will say for a few of his matches, I noticed that there was times that he actually did everything on his own, and he didn't get help with certain matches. I mean, hell, let's face it, the one match in Japan, the last night in Japan, he actually was on the other foot of that when oh god, I forgot the guy's name who took Maki's spot off the top of my head, but the guy, he went as the policeman, but he was the one who fought Mance Warner instead of Maki, but Maki still came out and helped the dude beat up Mance Warner for a little bit. So I mean, he did get that little other end of the foot and everything, and I mean, the whole time in Japan, I mean, he was pretty much solo dolo with those matches.
That's facts. Tell her when she's telling lies. She ain't, folks. But this match has been building for months. Here we are finally at Homecoming. We're going to determine an undisputed GCW champion. Who's walking out with this thing? I mean, this to me is as dead even as it gets. I can see either three of these guys walking out with the championship. They all have like a viable reason to be the champion.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think on it? Like, Mike, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen in this ladder match? Who the heck is walking out the champion?
The heart of the company is finally going to get that belt.
So you think Joey's finally going to get it, huh?
Yes.
I could see that. I think that's the heartwarming story everybody wants to see. I have a theory on it. I have what I think should happen and what I think could happen, and I'm 50-50 on how it goes down. I think what should happen, honestly, as much as I think Mance Warner should walk out champion because he's just been doing so much damn good work with that title. But I think what's going to happen is I think Joey does walk out the champion, but I think on night 2, there's going to be some fuckery. And I think I would not be shocked if somehow that son of a bitch Matt Cardona is once again the GCW champion at Joey Janela's expense. That's my bold prediction. Is I think that's going to happen at some point.
I actually fucking love that.
That'd be really cool. I mean, with storytelling and stuff. I mean, great way to like tie up as well as start a new storyline. I mean, all three of these guys, as you both said, have all like great reasons. I mean, this is, besides Mance and Effie, this is one of the best storylines that has been going on in a while. I mean, as you both said, Joey Janela is the heart of this business. He first had that grasp of having that title at Cage of Survival. You can see the tears on his face. And then just that last minute of, Mance Warner sneaking from the crowd and, just being able to have that, Mance being an amazing champion. I mean, heel or not, I mean, and you say it like with comparing him to Roman and stuff, it's like, shit, even with that, I agree with like, getting the outside help, but shit, I mean, he even defended his title sometimes more than Roman.
There you go.
I mean,
a short time frame.
Yeah, the Southern Psycho definitely. I mean, he has been ruling with this title. And I mean, as much as, you know, it hurt for the stuff that he said to Effie about, you know, like not being able to get up the nice way and stuff like that. I mean, let's face it, he's right. And ever since that, you know, match with Mance Warner at Cage Survival, like Effie after that kind of went to the wayside, back to like the, you know, tag matches or trios or just little singles bouts. I mean, Mance Warner is that guy you want to have a match with. And then you have Blake Christian, which, side note, I love how he was upset about getting stripped, but wasn't upset that the night that Matt Cardona announced that he was GM, that he had the match against him and Danhausen. And Danhausen had that one. He used the belt, you know, to knock out Blake Christian, but, you know, Matt Cardona didn't want the Tampa screw job, so they restarted the match. Blake did the same thing, yada, yada. It's like, you're not mad about Mr. Cardona doing that for you, but you weren't here, so he stripped your title. And I mean, and this is saying, you know, like, again, I love Blake Christian, but I mean, the facts are facts. But I mean, he is an incredibly talented guy. All of them have great reason to win this match. I don't see Blake winning. And I think I agree with you guys. It's either going to be Mance up and up, you know, keeping up with that Mancer era, as he calls it, or finally, almost like the Indies kind of like Cody and Roman story, where like first Joey got, you know, that opportunity, it ended up getting out of his fingertips, and now he finally wins. So I think you guys are onto something. It's either going to be Joey walking out or Mance. I don't see Blake winning.
Yeah, I think we can all agree with that. Sorry, cousin Blake, we love you. We'll see you at the family picnic. I hope you bring potatoes down. But yeah, it's not, nonetheless, this is the biggest matchup going into homecoming weekend for sure. And it's going to be very interesting to see what the fallout's going to be come night 2 as well. And speaking of which, let's talk about night 2 of homecoming, which is looking pretty solid too as well, man. There's some dream matches on this card. Yes. There's like stuff where I was like, holy shit, we're getting that. So let's talk about this. We got Tony Deppen will be in action against Galino Del Mal, who we've talked about both these guys earlier. This is once again, like anytime I get Tony Deppen on my screen, I'm for it. I think he tries to do some chicken shit things and take his mask off.
Oh yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I can totally see that. But as great as both these guys are, I do think I don't know. I love Tony, but I don't think he's going to walk out with the W this weekend. So I'm going to go probably with Galino Del Mal to pick up the win here. What about you, Mike?
Galino Del Mal.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Galino Del Mal as well.
But it should be a fun matchup, though.
Oh,
like anytime you get Tony in there, it's going to be great stuff. And Galino looks like an impressive competitor, too. So let's talk about this one. We mentioned it earlier. So Los Machizos, they got to keep their shit together because on Sunday night, they're going to be challenging for the GCW Tag Team Championship against Finances Forever, the longest reigning GCW Tag Team Champions in history.
Yeah.
Now, the real question is, like, how did Kevin Koo come back too soon? Because, like, it looked, you know, like maybe still nursing a little bit of that injury from what we saw in LA.
Mm.
Or is he ready to go? Like, I love Finances Forever. Personally, I hope they pull out the win, but I'm not going to be shocked here if we got new tag champions at the end of the night.
Yeah. I feel like when after they won their match against the Wolf Zaddies, they you know, Kevin Koo looked at the camera and, you know, we are the forever champions and stuff like that. And it's almost like when people say that, it almost is like bad juju sometimes.
Yep.
And it's like, oh yeah, you say this, but as you said, I mean, you know, Los Machizos have had that little bit of tension between them. I feel like we might even see that, if anything, more in this match. Maybe something will end up, you know, going not their way at some point, and it's like, what are you doing? And then it's like, no, focus, we got to win this. And this might be like them winning the tag team championships might be what brings them back, brings them close again.
I could see that. And then I think you could get a story out of it to where it's like there's still kind of this dissension between the two during out this title reign, and then eventually the breakup happens. God, I don't know. I really want Silences Forever to retain because I love those guys. But I think Los Machizos is probably going to get the W here. What about you, Mike?
I'm going to go. So I have an interesting way I'm going to talk about this. I have Los Machizos winning because from what I've been told by certain people on the West Coast, that Violence is Forever is going to be spending a lot of time here in Washington and Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Because on September 29th, they face Trevor Williams and Judas Icarus, Sinner and Saint.
Oh,
with the
that'll be
Prestige
good.
Tag team titles.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Well, that is interesting. So their historic title reign, could be coming to an end. I mean, how apropos if it does happen at Homecoming. So, but I don't know. I think if any team's going to pull it off, though, it would be Los Machizos, regardless of what they have going on right now. Now this one I'm hyped for. I am hyped.
I'm so fucking excited for this match.
Yes, we got Charles Mason going up against Fuego del Sol. Karlee, tell us why you are so hyped for this one.
Whew. Well, I think also just a little bit of the story behind this one too. Because I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Fuego and Jordan Oliver had a match in Houston together. It went well and everything. And here comes Charles Mason, just being an asshole, whatever. I love Charles Mason, but I'll get that in a second.
He's a
but
psycho. He's amazing, but he's a fucking... You would love the psycho. That makes sense, actually.
You caught me. No,
Guilty.
But guilty. No, but I think just the build up from that, and just from that match in Houston, and just Charles Manson kept fucking with Fuego, and of course being the reason that Jordan Oliver is on the shelf right now. I mean, technically Jordan started getting that injury a little bit when he had that match in Denver with Mance. That was first when that was starting to get a little iffy, but he was still cool. He still did the backyard wrestling stuff and a bunch of other shows after that, but it wasn't until he had that match with Charles Mason where Charles Mason really fucked him up.
Yeah.
And he was just waiting to have that moment with Fuego del Sol, and I just see a lot of great things. I think Charles Mason as a professional wrestler is phenomenal. Of course, I love how much of a psychopath he is. I mean, he's fantastic in House of Glory. He's tag team champion with oh my god, Nolo Kitano, I think is his tag team partner, the Cold Blooded Killers.
Oh yeah.
But everything about him, is awesome. And of course, Fuego del Sol has just been, great. Seeing him in GCW, here and there has been awesome too. So I am hyped as fuck for this match.
Yeah, I agree with you. Everything you said. The story is there. It's been interesting to see. And Fuego has been awesome in GCW.
Yes.
Like, he is killing it, man. Like, he is doing such an amazing job right now. He's bulked up a little bit too, man. Fuego looking good, boy. Yes, sir. This one though, as far as picking a winner, I don't know. I could see it going either way. I think I'm going to probably go with Charles Mason. I think he's going to get the W because I think there's going to be some devilish deeds he's going to do to pick up this win. But I just wonder if afterwards, as he's trying to add to his list, what if one Sam Stackhouse makes an appearance? Because Charles, you better be running for the hills. I don't care if you got Pero or whoever the fuck you got. It's like Sam
Right.
Stackhouse is gonna fuck you up.
Oh yeah, the king of thick style.
Damn straight. Mike, what about you? Who you got in this one?
I have the American Psychopath, Charles Mason. He reminds me of the guy from American Psychopath.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, it's gonna be an
Charles-
interesting matchup. So I think we're all in agreement. Charles Mason's walking out with the W.
Yes.
Yeah, I could also see him trying to take Fuego's mask and all that crazy shit too because he's a douche. But I love Charles Mason. I'll go with him. Hell, I'd love to even manage him one day. That'd be sick. But
Oh, I think you could do it. I could see it right now. The Queen of Extreme and Charles Mason. Ooh. Book it now. Book it, Brett. This one.
Ooh.
This is gonna be
go.
This is gonna
Oh.
be match of the weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be holy shit. Silafatu and Speedball Mike Bailey 1-on-1.
I got goosebumps the first time I saw the picture of this. I was like,
Right?
ooh.
Oh my god, this is gonna be. We talked about Silla, man. Like he's gonna have his hands full Saturday, but man, to come back 24 hours later and you are going up against Speedball Mike Bailey, damn, that is gonna be a challenge unto itself. But if anybody could do it, it's Silla. Talk about a unique clash of styles here too, as well, man.
So crazy. This is a weird matchup that I never thought I wanted to see, and I really want to see.
Right? It's like I didn't know I needed this into my life until they announced it. It's like, okay, yeah, I want to see that. Like, this is gonna be bonkers. This matchup, oh, it's gonna be so damn good. Like, I love me some Speedball, but I don't know, man. I think Silla's gonna keep that momentum. I think Silla's gonna get the W. But this matchup, like you guys say, this is definitely potential to steal the entire weekend.
Yes.
What about you, Karlee? What do you think is going to happen in this incredible encounter?
I mean, Speedball Mike Bailey is great. I mean, this is going to be definitely a great opponent. I mean, like you said, like, I didn't know I needed this match in my life. Like, I almost compare that. I know might be random, but like one of the matches that ended up happening in Japan was Tetsuya Endo going against Gringo Loco. And that was just one of those, whoa, I didn't know I needed this, but I needed it. And this is like the same thing for me. And as you guys said earlier, these are two different styles. But I think with that, I think it's going to be extremely fluid. I think it's going to be, like you said, one of the matches of the weekend. And I don't see Zilla losing the momentum. No. So I think the main one's going to take that one.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the young OG.
Yeah.
The real young OG. Sorry for the man on NXT.
Yeah, no, I think you both make valid points. I think that's how this match goes down. But dude, this is seriously going to be like one of the highlights of the weekend for sure. Is this encounter between Silafatu and Speedball Mike Bailey? Oh fuck! There is going to be some fuckery afoot in this one. This is like a fucking deathmatch fan's dream come true.
Oh,
we got Matt Tremont, Hoodfoot, and Brandon Kirk teaming up to go against Big F and Joe, Lou Nixon, and Drew Parker.
I'm pumped.
Batten down the fucking hatches because they are going to tear down the fucking terminal in this one. This is going to be nuts. Like, I just expect, I don't even think, like, this isn't going to be like tags or no shit. This is just going to be, this is going to remind me back to the days in ECW when you had the gangsters come out for their match and they would just fucking fight all over the entire arena. That's what's going to happen in this one. Like, they are just going to fucking destroy that place.
It's funny you say that about the gangsters, because the first thing I thought of was, okay, this is the arena. This is ZZW in 03 and the Hate Club.
Yes.
Just tearing shit down. And
nice.
When I say the Hate Club, I mean Nick Gage and Nate Hatred.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Nate Hatred.
Yeah, and I mean Matt Tremont, he's got that rub from Abdullah the Butcher too. Let's not forget
Yeah.
about that. He's the new deathmatch legend on Abby's eyes, so to speak. This
With
is just
that,
going to be. There's going to be like I would love to see the bill from Home Depot after this fucking match because
Oh,
no,
dude.
I
Yes.
want to see the hospital bill. Because all
yeah,
6 of these men is ending up in the ER.
yeah. Yeah, there's going to be so many fluorescent tubes. Like this is definitely going to be the match, and then okay, folks, we're going to intermission because we're
Yeah.
going to have to clean up and probably pick up some bodies at the same time. I don't know, man. You pick me. You could the winner, the real winner of this matchup. It's us, folks,
Yeah.
because
I
this
mean,
is just
point
going to
blank
be
period.
fucking nuts.
This is very, very much a match for the bloodthirsty people.
Yes. That's what I love about the GCW, and that's what I love about this card, this homecoming card. You get a mix of so many different styles of wrestling in it. I'm gonna probably say Matt Tremont's team. It seems like every time he's in Atlantic City, like I don't know. I just feel like that's his kind of he's going over. So I'm gonna pick the Matt Tremont, Hoodfoot, and Brandon Kirk going over in this one. What about you, Karlee?
Well, all I know is I hope to see a lot of light tubes and tables, blood, glass sheets. I want to breathe in the fumes from the broken light tubes from the TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see a lot of it. And I know we're going to get that and more. I think even though the teams are pretty evenly stacked, I think we're going to see, the Bulldozer, Hoodfoot, and Brandon Kirk win this one.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
I don't go against Matt Tremont.
Yeah.
When
Don't fuck with that, man.
Right.
he was one of the second generation of ZZW wrestlers, he was my all-time favorite. When all the originals left, when Zandig bought the company, and then of course Tremont left the company because fuck DJ Hyde.
Reasons. But yeah. No, this is going to be a bloodbath, man. This is going to be you deathmatch enthusiasts. You've got a lot of great ones on the show this weekend, but this may be the best one of them all, in all honesty. So, oh, I am so fucking hyped for this one. Masha Slamovich 1-on-1 with Megan Bain. And we know what Megan Bain's been doing. She has been on a roll. Of course, she had the bullshit losses against Mance and against Cousin Blake. But Masha's your reigning JCW champion. What can we expect out of this one, Karlee? What do you think is going to happen in this encounter between arguably two of the most dominant competitors in GCW? And oh yeah, by the way, they both happen to be female, which I think is pretty badass. By the way,
Right. I think from in the women's division alone, these two are literally second to none. I mean, both of them have titles. Masha's the JCW champion. Megan just got the House of Glory Women's Championship. I mean,
I thought she looked familiar.
Huh?
I thought she looked familiar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I watch a lot of House of Glory.
Oh yeah, dude, me too. But I don't know. This is gonna be very tough competition for both of them. I mean, I'm not expecting any type of bullshit in this match. This is literally gonna be mano y mano. Like, this is another one that was really highly anticipated for me. I mean, Masha Slamovich, when it comes to women's wrestlers, is number one for me. There is nobody else. But man, this is so highly anticipated. Both these women have such great streaks, minus the BS losses with Megan. But I don't know, the Russian Dynamite versus the Megasis, you guys. This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly, Karlee. This is really going to be an amazing matchup. Like, Masha is just unstoppable, but I don't know. I think Megan Bain's going to somehow get the win here. I think she's going to I don't want to say upset Masha, but I think she's going to pull out the W and surprise some people maybe. I'm going with Megan Bayne on this one. What about you, Mike?
I'm actually going with Masha again.
Respect.
It's Masha, and
Oh man, so
Ooh,
this is the
doesn't
first
mean
one
I'm the
we.
tiebreaker, y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've
it's
kind
the
of
first
been
time tonight, and I kind of hope
Right.
this happens.
in. Yeah.
Ooh, God, you guys. I mean, as I said earlier, I mean, Masha Slamovich is my favorite female wrestler. I mean, could almost be my favorite wrestler, period. But Megan Bayne, I almost feel like after the loss with stuff like that with Blake and everything, she might need the win. Not need it, but I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But Masha, I mean, she was, dominant the whole time, in Japan pretty much. She, I don't know. I don't know. I'm at a loss. It would be cool to see Megan get over on Masha, but I don't know. I might even upset myself here, and I think I might go with Megan Bayne.
Oh, yes.
Woo!
Welcome to the Megasis team. It's good to
She
have you,
didn't want to
Karlee.
say it.
I feel like I've said something wrong, like when you were a kid and said swear words and shit. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that. Like Masha, I'm sorry. I love you. You always win. Damn it! Let this woman win.
Yeah, I think this, like a win here for Megan Bayne, I think is going to do more than a win for Masha Slamovich. I think it's the best way you can sum this one up. But man, this is going to be another one of those marquee matchups on night 2 of Homecoming. But we do have a main event. But before we get to that main event, Karlee, can you tell me, is there any matches we're missing from night 2?
Not that I've seen. I think everything was listed so far except for the main event.
All right, well, let's get right into it. It's a match I never thought we would see. This was not on my bucket list. Nick
Certainly
Gage
not on my show card.
and Matt Hardy. So let's say that again. Nick Gage and Matt Hardy are going to be teaming up to go against one Matt Cardona, a returning Matt Cardona, and Broski Jimmy in the main event. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I mean, I respect all guys. I love all guys, even though Jimmy's been a little shit lately. But still, I don't know. I felt like the matchup in Cleveland with Nick Gage and Matt Hardy, just to me, it felt kind of weird. Like it kind of felt like when you was a kid and you snuck into your parents' room or whatever, and then you found some of your dad's Playboy magazines under the bed, and you're like, "What's this?"
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry. Anyways,
That was a weird analogy. That was an analogy I was not expecting.
it just doesn't. It just doesn't. It feels weird. It feels weird. It's the best way I can describe it. I don't know. I did not have it on my bingo card. These two teaming up, or as they're dubbing themselves, what was it? Murder, delete, kill, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Murder, delete, kill is.
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Matt Cardona has some tremendous moments at Homecoming's past. Let me throw something. It's not going to happen probably, but let me just throw something out there, Karlee. See what you think, because you kind of, and you mentioned this a little bit, I believe, in your report you did this past week on PW60, which you can catch a replay of that available now here on Cold TV. Do you think, like, because Jimmy, as we all know, Jimmy in Japan, like they lost his luggage, so we got like a little bit of old Jimmy Lloyd back. Do you think a possibility he could finally come out of this and come back to his smarts and go back to Jimmy fucking Lloyd instead of Broski Jimmy?
Yeah, you know what? I have a theory, and I've been waiting to say this for tonight because I wanted to tell you guys first. I wanted to see how you guys feel about this, but I feel like either one of two things are going to happen. Either Matt Cardona and Jimmy are going to win, and we might possibly see a turn from Jimmy. Or Nick Gage and Matt Hardy win because, Jimmy did some type of shit to fuck up the match for them or something. I feel like, however, though, I think, this is, Matt Cardona's, first time out, being out with injury. It's his in-ring, comeback. It's at Homecoming. I think he's going to get that moment for himself. But I think right afterwards, I mean, it's kind of like that whole, like with AEW with, Tony Storm and Mariah May. I mean, she had Mariah under her wing and stuff like that, but also was kind of shitty to her, like, oh, well, I'm not watching any of your matches and all this stuff. And I mean, let's face it, when, especially in the beginning of, the Broski Jimmy era of his, I mean, Matt was a straight up dick to him. And I think it's going to boil up, I mean, I'm sure it's going to show first on the surface that, Jimmy's hyped to be there and to be able to, team up with, the Deathmatch King. And I mean, he would definitely have reason to turn on him. It's like, let's face it, Jimmy Lloyd has been doing death matches way before Matt Cardona knew what death match even was.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we're going to see eventually possibly a dethroning of the Deathmatch King, and maybe the Prince will become the king.
Oh, I like it. I like that scenario. What do you think on that one, Mike?
So I think that's going to come at a later time. Because I think we are going to see a turn. But I think we're going to see a turn of a one Matt Hardy deleting a one Nick Gage.
That's an interesting.
Whoa.
Enjoying the royal family.
I could see that, but
wow.
Let me add, because here's something I think could possibly happen. I think, what if we get Matt's brother showing up? Jeff Hardy shows up.
If we get Jeff, I'm popping.
I feel like it's gonna happen.
There's no offense. He's the one that needs to be in GCW. I like Matt. But Matt Hardy doesn't fit the GCW mode. Jeff's crazy.
I can agree with that. It was even weird to hear Matt tell Matt Cardona to go fuck himself. I was like, ooh, you swore?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so weird for you.
Yeah. I felt like it's like I just heard my grandfather cuss for the first time or something. Man, I was like, what the fuck? This is weird.
Oh my God.
Now, if we see Jeff's crazy ass in GCW, I would love that.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of in agreement. I think there is going to be, this isn't going to end like a typical tag match. There's going to be some big story coming out of this. Karlee, I hope you're right. I love that idea. But I also think there's somebody else we're not talking about who it's been a while since we have seen in a GCW ring. We talked about the King. What about the Queen? Steph DeLander could show up. I know she's been doing a lot of stuff in TNA, but, I think the Queen could show up.
She's too busy dating PCO.
Even though Cardona was cock blocking fucking Steph DeLander from the Monster, just saying. I think what we talked about earlier, I think how this is all going to end is I don't really know who's going to win it. I could see it going either way. I'll probably say Cardona and Jimmy, I guess. And I could see Matt kind of doing the turn on Gage, but I think the weekend ends. It's interesting, Karlee, because you talk about like the downfall of the royal family. I think it's going to be a pivotal moment for him because I think Cardona gets back the GCW title is how this is going to end. And thus his reign of terror begins once again on GCW. Could be wrong.
GM champion would be 10 of fire.
I think that's going to happen.
I think a GM fight. How dare she gonna sick?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one to see. So I think we're all in agreement. It's going to be some fuckery, but like I say, I'm going to go with Cardona and Broski. Who you got, Mike?
I got the Royal Deathmatch family.
Okay. And then Karlee, you're thinking
yeah.
kind of this, okay. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Shit. I mean, I even did my makeup for the Deathmatch royalty family today. So
Kudos to you. And you can see tutorials on that on her TikTok. Just saying. But nonetheless, Homecoming is going to be an amazing weekend. We are so hyped. We're so excited. We're so looking forward to it. Is there any big surprise or anything that we haven't talked about here tonight on our prediction show that you think could potentially happen?
ooh.
Any surprise debuts? A lot of free agents out there.
Yeah, that's true. I know Trevor Lee has been doing a lot lately in the indie scene and stuff like that. It'd be dope to kind of see him do something in GCW. I mean, hell, like with what happened at Bloodsport, MVP coming out,
That's
true.
what I'm thinking. It's gonna
that would be pretty cool.
He's the one I definitely would. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw him this week.
Right.
All right, here is my bold prediction, and it's fucking bold, I know.
Ooh, okay.
But we've seen so many of these working relationships going on. I would not be shocked if somebody from the WWE, an active competitor, shows up at Homecoming. Like, I don't know who it would be.
Ooh.
Probably somebody from the NXT roster, but I don't know. There's definitely seems to be like a working relationship there. I mean, I know with Josh Barnett, it's one thing, but I mean, shit. That collective weekend, like WWE was, several of the WWE talent and executives were at some of the collective shows. So
Yeah.
It was like there was a lot of them backstage. That was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so we know you watching Papa H. We knew you think you seen what GCW's doing.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
just
he's
saying.
already put it out there that he pays attention to social media while he produces the show.
Yeah. But nonetheless, seriously, if y'all don't have Triller TV, and trust me, we don't get paid a fucking dime from them yet. But go get you a subscription to Triller TV. It's like $8 a month. It'll be the best $8 you ever spend, and you can watch Homecoming all this weekend. It's going to be an amazing show. We're so hyped. We're so ready for it. But in closing, as we always do here on Cold TV, how about we get one little plug-a-palooza and Karlee, tell us where we can find you, my friend.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok under cakeface_Karlee. And, if you like wrestling, deathmatch shit, makeup, come check my shit out.
There you go. And Michael, tell us where we can find you, my friend.
MJ Duplessis 1990 on social medias here on Cold TV on a regular basis. And
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And World Championship Wreckage. Also, she's
Me
gonna be on
too.
World
Oh, yeah, me
Championship
too.
Wreckage more.
That's right. You can catch us all over the place. So, well, nonetheless, we thank you so much for checking out our GCW Homecoming Prediction Show. And as always, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Everybody have an awesome Homecoming weekend. And, man, this is going to be an amazing weekend for professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Bye.